I guess it was okay.
Heel Alex Stone is back.
Okay, so earlier today, I inducted Rusty to the Australian Backyard Wrestling Hall of Fame, which, as I said, is being recognised as the highest regarded award that you get in Australian backyard wrestling. Anyway, the next guy I want to induct is unfortunately not able to be here, but that's okay because he lives in New South Wales.
No excuse. No.
Now this guy is a guy who he founded a backyard wrestling federation over in New South Wales called In Your House Wrestling Alliance.
In your house. It was always outside. In your house. In your pants. I'm pretty much as good as you.
And basically, In Your House Wrestling Alliance in the mid-2000s were very well known on YouTube, and with only 64 videos, they've got over 6 million views on their backyard wrestling matches.
That's sick.
Well, Alex versus
They've got over 7,000 subscribers.
About a million.
So they're basically one of the most prolific works, but I was working towards something about the one that's been seen the most by pretty much any backyard fed in the world. So basically, this guy's a former In Your House Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Champion, Tag Team Champion, the founder. His name is Cryptic, and his induction speech has been recorded and it will be up on the Australian Backyard Wrestling YouTube in the next couple of days. So, yeah.
Hey fellas, not sure many of you guys know about the story of In Your House, or when it began and all the history that we went through, but it certainly takes me back to about 2005, when it all sort of started out as a pipe dream that turned into a pretty crazy reality, I have to admit. But as with most things, there's probably too many people to thank over that time through the running and the growing of In Your House Wrestling Alliance, and they certainly know who they are. But on a more timely and relevant note, I do want to thank you guys there who are watching and all the organisers of the ceremony tonight, because it's pretty much you guys that are going to be continuing the awesome history that we know as backyard wrestling in Australia. And for a while there, it looked like a pretty grim case. So it's great to see that the next wave of people are coming up and supporting the cause, which is really good to see. If you haven't already, you'll soon work out that wrestling is a pretty awesome time, and the wrestling does become a side note eventually. You start to just enjoy it for the mateship and who you hang out with at events, but while you can enjoy it, I can encourage you to do it for as long as you possibly can, because you really do make a lot of friends along the way, and friends that I'll keep for life from all across the globe, from Canada to the United States to Germany, you name it. I've got people that I know all over the country and the globe, which is really good. And all the tireless effort and the money and the sleepless nights, planning matches, planning events, and organising travel and whatnot, it's all worth it for those times. My dream ultimately was to have In Your House live beyond the time that we did it in those golden years, from about 2005 all the way up to 2010 or so, whether that be through YouTube or backyard wrestling forums, or even now with Facebook and how quickly that moves. So I certainly hope it's made an impact on the lives of many, and I hope you guys see the benefits of what we did and the feds before us did. I'm not even beginning to think that we paved the way for Australian backyard wrestling. There was many feds before us, and Rusty will know all the names and all the feds that sort of come before us. But I do like to think we had a positive impact on the scene. We did try to not only wrestle to the best of our ability, but our production values and the way we sort of presented our work, whether either MVs or full matches, was certainly, hopefully that sort of at least shaped the way people like to do things in the backyard wrestling sense. It does sadden me, however, that I'm not part of the active backyard wrestling community at the moment. I always have a spare moment to reminisce about the past, and and I won't share a moment with anybody who'll listen, to an old veteran, so to speak. But I've always got time for people in the backyard wrestling scene, and I'll maintain that till for a very, very, very long time. It's one of the most enriched experiences that I've ever had over the course of my very short lifespan at this point. But yeah, I suppose on a closing note, from day one of Dawn of the Immortals to day two of Wrath of the Gods, it truly was an honour to be a part of something bigger. At the time it was HVWA, YWF, SCWS, HWF, HWS, you name it. There's feds out there, even trampoline wrestling federations and whatnot that I was a part of. So, I couldn't think of any better way to spend those 8 years of my life with those people, and and those friends that I still have today. So, you know, enjoy your night, boys. Thanks for the induction, and, you know, keep kicking on. Thanks.